Like you said, you started La Juiceria when you were done with your self-discovery period. That was back in 2013. Before the healthy eating trend became mainstream, how did this idea come about?
So anything that happens in the States happens very quickly in Manila, back home. So I was pregnant. That time I was pregnant with my son. So he's my second child. And the whole revolution of juice cleanses, blueprint, all of this was starting to unfold in the States. And in Manila, a couple of entrepreneurs also started the same thing. And when I looked around, I saw that there wasn't really a strong player in Malaysia. Mm-hmm. And I was so excited. I wanted to start a company. I started doing my research, all the testing, all the recipes. However, I was pregnant, so I couldn't do the whole juice cleanse where I, put myself through several days of just pure juices. Mm-hmm. And instead, husband was the guinea pig, and he was our first client. And really, it was unfolding in Manila. Okay, you know what? I'm so excited. I'm going to be the first, if not at least the most consistent, once I launch this brand. And I couldn't wait for my baby to kind of pop out at that time. Was pretty excited. And I have put together all the formula, the brand, the logo. And I was just waiting to pop and praying that, God, I'm not Malaysian. I would love to do this in Malaysia. I want to make Malaysians healthy. Mm-hmm. Do send me some business partners my way so that I won't do it alone. And, and he did. And it just, the universe sent the right people my way at the right time.
So why is it juice among other things? Like, what is it about juices that spoke to you personally?
Well, the juices are the easy way out for people to take their vegetables and fruits. So if today I gave you a basket of veggies and said, hi, Casilda, here's a basket, and why don't we consume this together right now? And you're going to be like, I'm going to chew all that, So you and I both know that this is healthy for you, and we all need our array of vegetables per day, right? However, we live in Malaysia. Life is so good. We've got food 24/7, and we're just tempted left and right with, I want coffee, I'm going to get donut, I'm going to eat pasta later, char kway teow, burgers. And lo and behold, the day keeps unfolding and you realize, oh my gosh, I didn't have my green juice. Yes, I didn't have my greens. So the easy way out is really the juices. And it really made a lot of sense to me that if I couldn't eat the raw greens, and normally I would cook it or steam it, but on the juice, it's in its raw form. And if they juiced it pure without any drop of water, just pure vegetables, a little bit of fruits, just to sweeten it and make it acceptable, why wouldn't that work, right? Why wouldn't that enhance our health? And we can get away with the day saying that I'm done with my greens for the day, and let me enjoy my life, and I'm going to have a bit of pasta later on. So it made sense to myself. It made sense to the normal Asian me who lives in KL with good food and haven't been a good girl eating my greens every day. So it made a lot of sense to my family. And this was in 2013. I looked at the statistics, and Malaysia was at the highest obesity rate in Southeast Asia, as well as diabetes. So if the fact of the matter is there is a problem of health and health-related issues that can be solved by eating better, why not juice, right? It's easy to consume. So back to that basket, if I brought it to you, you would struggle to finish it by the end of the interview. But if I gave you a bottle of green juice, which was squeezed out of a basket full of green vegetables, and I said, Casil, look, you got to drink this. And you could down the whole thing within a minute, and you'll be done for the day. 7 vegetables. So it made a lot of sense in terms of adults like us it made a lot of sense for kids. Like at that time, my daughter was already 3. My son, started to drink juices as well. So why not for Malaysians, right? Why not for the people out there? And so that was how it all started. And that's how it kind of grew on its own. And that's why juice is a well understood theme. I think when I was young, that was many, many years ago, juice was already invented. It's not a new technology. It's just that the way that they extracted the juice has changed. Juices has been around for, I would dare say, a lot of more than a decade. But the cold press technology came about only maybe a decade ago when they use it for juice. So this technology has been around. I'm sure they've used it for cold pressing, let's say olive oil, right? They don't want the oil to be heated. So that method has existed, but they created this for the juices, and they realized that if you juice vegetables using the cold press method, there is less oxidation, because in our old way of juicing, which was our centrifugal juicer, which is very noisy, very high speed, it kind of burns a little bit of the nutrients that are already in there because of the speed of how it is how it is created. And so the cold press is the opposite of that, which is literally squeezing the juice out of anything that is a vegetable that could have essence in it. And if your hand could be capable of juicing it out, it would have come out. But, we need special equipment. And these equipments will squeeze it very slowly in a method that has no heat involved. So hence the word cold pressed. There's no heat, it's cold. And then it's pressed instead of really sliced and diced, with a very sharp item. And they've seen how the essence or the structure of the juice has stayed intact in terms of nutrients much better than the other methods. But just as how we have started 8 years ago, I always tell people, if you had a choice, if you could eat the whole fruit, if you could eat the whole vegetable, I think that's a better choice than drinking the juice. However, not everybody will listen to, the doctor or whatever is written in science that we eat our veggies. So if you can't eat it, you can drink it.
How do you ensure the tastiness of the drinks despite them consisting, like you said, mostly healthy ingredients, a basket of greens that most Malaysians like me had a hard time chucking it down, and you guys have ingredients that don't necessarily taste good when it's raw, like ginger and turmeric?
Yep, and those things are superfoods, right? Those things are what the body is craving for, except that if you ate it raw, I don't think you can chew on a ginger, or maybe some of the old people like chewing on ginger, but bentong ginger is fiery, turmeric is like staining everywhere. But these ingredients are what has been handed down for generations that has helped your tummy, help digestion. And what we did was we experimented with certain flavors. And I always believe that just like cooking, the chefs have magically turned ingredients into something of an elevated form. They've really enhanced it. The juice is the same thing. Working with a couple of nutritionists as well as a bit of R&D and a lot of juice later on, drank a lot of juice. We finally came up with the first 6. After the first 6, there was the first 12. After the 12, there was 18. So it was really experimenting with what Malaysians would accept, would enjoy. And there are several types of people, right? Some who are the hardcore healthy people. They want the really green one with the really low calorie, while the others would be, green's not my color. I'd try the orange carrot because at least I understand what orange is, and the carrot is sort of hidden under the orange flavor. So we've got all types of juices that can accommodate, in a way, young, old, all kinds of tastes. So that was how we kind of created it to allow more and more people to try. So a lot of R&D, a lot of experimenting.